Rafi always had one silent dream. One day he would speak correct, confident English without fear. Every time someone asked him a question in English, his heart started beating fast, his mind went blank, and the only word he could say was sorry. After that, he would replay the moment again and again in his head, thinking, why can't I speak properly? How can I learn correct English? One evening, after feeling embarrassed during an online meeting, he sat alone in his room and decided that he would finally find the answer to that question. He opened his notebook and wrote at the top of the page, "How can I learn correct English?" and stared at it for a long time. Instead of searching for magic tricks or shortcuts, he made a promise to himself that he would focus on simple daily habits. The next morning, he started with listening. He remembered how children learn their first language by listening for years before speaking clearly. So he chose a short English story and listened to it for 15 minutes. At first, he understood only a few words, and it felt frustrating, but he did not quit. He listened to the same story again and again for a whole week, and slowly the sounds began to make sense. Words that once felt strange started to feel familiar, and he realized that correct English begins with trained ears. After 2 weeks, Rafi added a new habit, speaking in small sentences. Before, he believed that good English meant long, complicated sentences, but that belief only made him silent. Now, he stood in front of the mirror every evening and spoke about his day using simple sentences like, "Today I worked hard," "I made some mistakes," and "I am trying to improve." Sometimes he laughed at his own pronunciation, sometimes he felt awkward, but he kept going because he understood that fluency grows from repetition, not from perfection. One day, while practicing, he noticed that he was no longer translating every sentence from his native language into English. Instead, simple thoughts were coming directly in English, and that small change gave him huge motivation. However, grammar was still his biggest fear. He used to think that one grammar mistake would prove that he was bad at English, but then he changed his mindset. Instead of studying all grammar rules at once, he focused on one small rule each week and used it in real sentences. When he learned the past tense, he talked only about yesterday. When he learned the future tense, he spoke about his plans. He stopped memorizing rules without context and started using them in real life. Gradually, grammar stopped being a monster and became a helpful guide. Vocabulary was another challenge, and in the beginning he tried to memorize 20 new words every day, but after 3 days he forgot most of them. That failure taught him an important lesson. Quality is better than quantity. He reduced his target to 5 words a day, but he used each word in multiple sentences, wrote them in his diary, and tried to use them in conversations. Those 5 words stayed in his memory much longer than the previous 20. As weeks turned into months, Rafi made English part of his daily routine. He changed his phone language to English, watched short interviews, read simple articles, and wrote a few lines in English before sleeping. Sometimes he still made mistakes, and sometimes people corrected him, but instead of feeling ashamed, he felt grateful, because every correction meant improvement. One afternoon, during another online meeting, he was asked to share his opinion, and without overthinking, he spoke clearly for 2 minutes. His sentences were simple but correct, and most importantly, they were confident. After the meeting ended, he smiled quietly because he realized that the answer to his old question was never hidden in a secret method or a 7-day challenge. Correct English was built day by day through listening carefully, speaking simply, learning grammar step by step, using a small number of words deeply, and practicing consistently without fear of mistakes. Rafi finally understood that learning correct English is not about being perfect, it is about being patient and consistent. The boy who once could not say a single confident sentence was now helping his younger cousin practice basic English every evening, and whenever someone asked him, "How can I learn correct English?" he would simply say, "Start small, practice daily, and never be afraid to sound imperfect, because correct English grows from courage and consistency, not from fear."